get started with question number 343, integer break. Given a positive integer n, break it into sum of at least two positive integers, maximize the product of those integers, return the maximum product you can get. So for example, here we are given 2, 2 can be broken into 1 and 1, so we get the maximum product as 1. So this question can be solved using two approaches. First, dynamic programming. We will just be discussing it, not actually implement it. So in DP, you know that we use the previous states to get to the current or to the next state. So what previous states are we actually going to use? Well, you can use the maximum product you calculated for the numbers less than n. For example, if you want to calculate the maximum product for 10, you can use the maximum product for 9 to get to the maximum product for 10. But in order to get to the maximum product of 9, you will have to calculate first the maximum product of 8. For 8, you will have to calculate for 7 and so on. So here you will be calculating the maximum products for each number from 1 to n to get the maximum product for n. You will be using DP here, so iteratively you can calculate the maximum product from 1 to n and finally get the result. So I think you can solve this question for DP on your own. We will be discussing the different approach, a mathematical one. So let's use a little bit of mathematics and observations. Here I've calculated the maximum products by dividing a number into from 2 parts to n minus 1 parts. So for 10, we have gotten 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 states. That is from 2 to n minus 1 states. So we can see that the maximum product here is 36, this number. So let's highlight it. And for n is equal to 9, we can see that the maximum product here is 27. So we highlight that also. And for n equal to 17, wow, that's a big number. So we can see that the maximum product here is this number, 486. So we also highlight this number. So if you observe carefully, you can see a pattern here. What pattern? There are only 3's and 2's in this maximum product, number 1, and number of 3's is always greater than or equal to number of 2's. So you can see that here there are 2 3's and 2 2's, there are 3 3's, and here there are 5 3's and 1 2. How do we get this result? Like, why is this happening? Let's see the mathematics behind it. That is, the product of two halves will always be greater than or equal to n. You can verify this statement yourself. And for odd numbers, you can take the floor and ceiling value of the halves. For example, for 7, we can take the floor value of 3.5, that is 3, and ceiling value of 3.5, that is 4. So let's simplify this expression a little bit. Like, we can write this as n and n can be cancelled because they are not equal to 0. So n is greater than or equal to 4 is the final expression. So from this, we now get this n is greater than or equal to 4. So when n is greater than or equal to 4, we can divide the number n into two parts such that the product is maximum. So what do we get from this statement? Actually, when n is greater than 4, we are dividing the number. So when we are not actually dividing it, when n is equal to 3, 2, 1 and 0. So when n is less than 4, we don't have to divide it because we already got the maximum product. So now you can see why you get this 3 and 2 pattern here, because if we take 1, there is no sense in taking 1 because, well, multiplying a number by 1 will be the number itself and multiplying a number by 0 will give the result 0. So no use of taking it. So we will take 3 and 2, and because we want the product to be maximum, we will take maximum number of 3's than 2's. Why? Because for a product to be maximum, we want number 1 more numbers and number 2 larger numbers. So taking 3 over 2 will satisfy our condition for larger numbers, and taking 2 and 3 only will satisfy our condition for large amount of numbers. because 2 and 3 are relatively smaller than other numbers, so we will have large amounts of 2 and 3s. So that will give a maximum product. So for example, let's take n equal to 10. So here we have 10. So what we can do is, as we want to get maximum number of 3s, we subtract 3 from it and multiply it. So we take 3 out of 10 and then we multiply the remaining number, that is 7. Now we know that n, that is 7, is still greater than or equal to 4. So we can still subtract 3 from it. So let's subtract 3 again. So 7 minus 3 would be 4. So it will be 3 into 4. Now if we subtract 3 from it, we will get 3 and 1. And we don't want any 1s in our numbers. So we will just divide 4 into 2 and 2, because we can either keep 3s or we can keep 2s. And if we extract 3 from 4, then we will get 1, and we don't want that. So we will divide 4 into 2. So this will be our result, and as you can see, this is our result here. So let's take another number, n equal to 70. So let's try this on that too. So n is 70. So we take 3 from this. So we get 3 into 17 minus 3, that is 14. We again take 3. So we will get 3 into 11. Again take 3. So 3 into 8. Again take 3. So 3 into 5. Again take 3. So 3 into 2. So all our conditions are satisfied. We have got maximum number of 3s and we have only got 3s and 2s. And we can even match this result here. Yes, these matches. So this is our answer. So now you know why were we going to use this function here? Yes, we are going to replace x by 3 and we will keep on repeating this function until we only have got 3s and 2s left in our number. So x is 3 when n minus 3 is greater than or equal to 2, then we can use this function. So we extracted 3 from it and n minus x was our answer. Then we extracted 3 from n minus x again to get this. So we will keep on doing this until we get a product of 3s and 2s. So let's code this approach. First of all, let's write conditions when n equal to 2 and n equal to 3. Because when n is equal to 2, we can divide it only into 1 and 1 and no other number. So our conditions for 3 and 2 won't be satisfied. So when n is equal to 2, we return 1. And when n is equal to 3, we return 2. Why? Because in case of 3, we can divide it into 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. So 2 and 1 will get our maximum answer 2. And if we were going to satisfy the condition for n equal to 3, so we subtract 3 from it, so we get 0. So that wouldn't be the optimum answer. So we write these conditions beforehand. Then we define a variable product which will store our product. Then this while. Now this while loop is exactly this function here, x into n minus x. So you can see if n is greater than 4. So why are we taking greater than 4 and not greater than equal to 4? Because when greater than equal to 4, if we extract 3 from it, we will get 3 and 1, and that won't be the feasible answer. So we will be using n is greater than 4, because when n is equal to 4, we can divide it into 2 into 2. So, and when n is greater than 4, like the lowest number greater than 4 is 5. So when we extract 3 from it, we will get 3 and 2. So yeah, that would be our feasible answer for maximizing the number of 3s, minimizing 2s, and only getting 3s and 2s. So when n is greater than 4, we multiply the product by 3 and extract 3 from the number n. That is, we multiply the product by 3, that is x here, and then we do n minus x here, and this n minus equal to 3 will extract 3 from n. And then finally, we multiply the remaining number by product. That is, if n is equal to 4, we know that the last answer would be 2 into 2. So 4 is equal to 2 into 2, so we directly multiply 4 into product. If the number was 5, then we extracted 3 from it, the remaining number would be 2, so we can multiply 2 as it is to the product, and so on. So this would be the process eventually, and then we have finally gotten our product, so we return the product. And that's it. Let's run the code to try it, and working perfectly on the test cases. And also, yeah, it's 100% performance. So this is much faster in memory as well as speed than the DP approach. So you can also try the DP approach yourself. Question? Thank you.